What's up, guys? It's your boy Stump, and welcome back to Rank 101, turning noobs to pros since 2020. Now, I know I've changed the way I've formatted this video series, but this is going to be the last time, I promise. And this time we're going to execute it. We're going to go through smooth, quick, precise points that I need to make, so that way you guys know exactly what you need to work on. And for this guy, over from MTYX, whatever that's supposed to mean, he's a Diamond 1. And it looks like we are on raid. Nice. So he said he asks if you could explain why he's so bad. He's been playing for 10 weeks with 7 fingers and full gyro. And as you can see, yeah, full gyro is not a good thing to be actually using. You want to use it as an assist tool, basically for adjusting your aim slightly and also correcting for your spray control. But that's not the main point why we're here. The main point is what I've got on the note sheet here. So the way we're going to do Rank 101 from now on is I'm going to watch the whole thing first, write down things that I noticed that you need to work on, go through the notes, and write up a summary of what you need to work on in one broad aspect. So we're going to go ahead and just start off here in the third round, apparently. Alright, so starting with round 5, you can see here he's going to run straight to this door and not even look out to peek. Are you kidding me? In all seriousness, you should be looking out into B site when you're going through heaven like that. You want to make sure no one's sitting up top, which is what they're doing here, but instead you try to focus on the smoke, which I'm not really sure what you're doing there. So you try, you run out, and you ended up getting taken down by the other team. So make sure you round your corners, make sure there's no one sitting there, and if there is, take them out. Simple as that. Make sure you check your corners. Yeah, full gyro is not good. Alright, round 6. Let's go through what he does here. Alright, so he's going to be round this corner. He's going to be looking. He's aiming at the barrels, and he goes down. Alright, so what happened here is that you try to rush into B site. You don't want to do that because you know there's only one guy left. Bombs on B. And you know there's your other teammates up in heaven. So what you should be doing is you should be methodically checking each spot before you go in. So right here, we're going to slow things down a bit so you can see it. You want to be checking right here at this corner, right before event entrance. And you're going to want to check by these barrels because sometimes they'll hide out here behind this box right here, which you do end up getting taken down to someone later in the video. Then you should be looking over here to this box. And you should check right up here because someone could be sitting up here. Then once you check all that, you want to check this back corner right here, and that's where you end up take it out. But instead, you look at this pallet. Now, this pallet isn't the thing that kills you. It's the guy in the corner that you then see and get taken out to. What you need to do is you need to work on peeking around your corners. Same thing with the last round. All right, let's keep it going. Round 7, right around here. This is where I noticed something. You have your crosshair right on the corner right there, and since you're a lower rank, not necessarily master or special ops, you could get away with it, especially with elite ops. You can, if you're up in the higher ranks, you can have your crosshair on the corner and then adjust as needed. But in the lower ranks, you want to work on actually timing it with their walking speed. You don't want your crosshair right on the corner. You want it off to the side a little bit. Now, in the lower ranks, especially in gold, plat, and diamond, you really don't want to have your crosshair on the corner. You want it to have off to the side where you know the enemy's going to be coming from. Because if you have your crosshair out more to the left, you would have been able to just shoot at him and not worry about aiming too much. But since your crosshair's on the corner, you're going to have to readjust to aim at his head. Since it is at a higher elevation and you have it on the corner, you need to swipe left. You do get to tag him, but you would have been able to tag him if you had your crosshair out more to the left. All right, right here again. You're aiming at the wall. So if we go back a little bit, you do hear them on the right, so you are sounding. But you have your crosshair on the wall again. You know they're going to be popping out looking for you, so you got to have your crosshair off the wall. All right, right here, round 10, I believe it is. Yeah, around 10. In this situation, you are obviously outgunned, because right from the get-go, you know they have an AUG or an AUG. Right there. You know they have an AUG and your buddy went down, and he also had a better weapon than you. You should have probably picked up that better weapon rather than just using your SMG. But if you wanted to keep your SMG, I would have just held the corner and waited for them to cross. So that way you'd be able to take them out and take their weapon instead. But as we see, you reload instead of trying to pick up your bud's weapon, and you try to go charging into the rescue. The best way to actually approach that scenario, since there was 3 players on that and you had no information prior, you should have just held back and just held a corner, so that way when they did come charging at you, you would have been able to take them out instead of rushing in, getting completely swarmed by 3 of the other team. All right, moving on. Now, T side, there wasn't much to worry about. However, on the coalition side is where you need the most work, as I've pointed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different rounds that you end up just completely, how do I put this, embarrassing yourself. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Round 15. You throw the flash up into heaven. You go around camp this spot. You throw the smoke. Teammate goes down, and then you just try and run to a safe corner. So, looking back, when you're throwing the smoke, right as you throw the smoke, your teammate goes down out B long. Instead of running this way, you should have immediately turned out to be long and waited for him to try and peek in. That way you would have actually had a shot instead of trying to run for cover, which you always want to make sure no one's trying to rush a certain area, so you always want to check where your teammate has died, or so that way you can pick up the trade instead of just trying to run and have that guy end up getting the double kill, which he does here. Alright. Here, round 16. So the situation right now is that they have the bomb planted and there's 3 terrorists left. Most likely all 3 are on the site. And what do? You just stare right in. Like I said before, you need to be able to peek, check your corners as well. And even before then, you knew that the majority of the T side was going into B side. I can't speak English. And right here, you know that they are on B site, and there's 1 at the end of B long. So there's at least 3 on site. And that was a nice wallbang, by the way. What you should have done is you should have checked up top, then it was swept over, checked those boxes, swept, check that box, which is there, right there, and you would be able to take them out. Then you would be able to swing wide, check vent entrance, then swoop back around and check back behind those boxes again. But instead, you just look in, you're just not paying attention. Alright, next round. Alright, round 17. You're sneaking around back by B long. You hear him on the right.
Bomb has been planted.
There. And you get taken down. Right.
Bomb has been planted.
There. As soon as you hear him start walking in front of you, like right to the top corner, right here, if you could feel it by your temple, start shooting, because that's where he's going to end up coming out at.
Bomb
there.
Has been planted.
Could have started shooting there. He wouldn't have had any idea you're right there, and you just come around. But as we move on in the video, you will soon see that he is not using the preferred headphones that I would be using. Alright, round 19 here.
Bomb has been planted.
Bomb's been planted on A. The rest of the team's on A, and the smoke's down at vent entrance. So you try to hold this. Guy with TRG at the top. Think he comes down. Yep, he's right there. And you get knifed. Alright, so what I would have probably done differently is as you're coming around here, I would have just sat in this corner right here and waited for them to try and charge if they were going to be rushing you, because they have 5. They could spare a few players to get intel. And if one of them tries charging in, which one of them did, if you would have stayed right here and shot him, you would have been able to take him out easily. And then, as well as that, the rest of your team decides to go around the long way. But yeah, if your teammates would have went A long and you stayed in tunnels after you killed the TRG player, you would have been able to have a good site retake, be able to take them all out. But you didn't necessarily have the equipment to do so. So it was kind of pointless at that point.
Breach wins.
Alright, and as you can see here, as he's walking, my headphones have run out of battery, which means he's using Bluetooth headphones. If you're going to be competing in ranked, you're going to need to have wired headphones, which is what I use, because when you're using Bluetooth, there is a delay. There's always going to be a delay. But with wired headphones, there's absolutely no delay. It's very minuscule at best. And then now, since you don't have any sound, you're basically blind to where everyone's at.
Bomb has been planted.
Bombs are planted and you get bombarded with grenades. As soon as you see a grenade, a frag grenade pop out, like this, right there, you should just immediately think, I gotta get out of here. I don't have armor, I'm gonna die. Just run. Just run away from HE grenades, especially if you don't have any cover. Because you get hit with 3 of them, and you just get absolutely trashed. Alright. Round 21. You and your team have B pretty secured. You know that there's multiple players going upstairs into heaven, and then you got one player trying to take out B long. Okay, there's one B long there. And you got multiple enemies still in heaven. Take out the guy B long, or heaven, sorry. Both your teammates in B long go down. At this point, after that, I would have just gotten off there, because you know there's one out in B long. Your teammates don't really have a good visual on him. Only you have a visual on him at that point. But there's more players up in heaven. There's one to be long. You're kind of sandwiched, so the only way to get unsandwiched is to block off one's other sight. And you know there's another one up here, as you see. So if you would have dropped down, the guy at B long would not have gotten you from there. Because at that point, if he did jump up and he ended up taking you out, if you did drop down and he jumped up, they would have seen him before you could have seen him, so you would have been able to focus on heaven, and then they would have had the guy on top of those barrels. Alright, next. Alright, this one's easy to understand. You hear them in heaven. You decide to try to go sneaky spot. Your aim's all whacker-jawed. Let's go through this a little bit slower. You throw the flash. You listen. You hear multiple enemies going upstairs. There's one definitely B long, and he tried to get up to a sneaky spot. I would not worry about sneaky spots, considering since you didn't have enough time to set up for it. Because if you wanted to try and hit a sneaky spot, you want to be quick and you have to have it down. Because otherwise, if you don't have it down and you mess up, then you're going to end up getting headshotted. It's around 23. Nothing really happens around 23. Nothing really happens around 23. Nothing ever happens around 23. It's 11-11. Make a wish, bitch. Alright, round 24. You got one player on A. He tells you guys to go A. You guys do eventually. Your teammate gets downed, and you end up going down as well. Pretty sure you were still in your gun equipping animation. Could have had him, but you weren't necessarily paying attention to the radar, which if you would have seen on the radar, you would have seen him pop up, pulled out your gun at this point, get ready to take him. You would have been already had your crosshair lined up ready to go, and once he walked out, he would have been dead. But since you pulled your gun out late, you weren't quite set up yet, and you end up getting headshotted. All right, round 25. You're playing in vent, waiting for the team to come in, and you just rush in. Yeah, see, the thing is, you know that they're going to be coming into B site because because you had one of your teammates take out someone in heaven right there. And he goes down, and then you just try to rush in. I would have just held this right here, right back behind the corner a little bit, right here. I would have held this spot right here. Once he walked out, boom, dead. And if they know that you're there, I would have just wrapped back down into vent, go around to B along. You'll probably not go upstairs since you have the SA-58. I would have probably went B along and went through B entrance. Because they're all down in B site at this point. Because you got 1, 2, and 3 in sight. Well, 2 now. Probably 1 more up in heaven. So, here's what I wrote down for your summary. You need to work on your situational awareness through sounding and using your radar. There are multiple times where you could have avoided dying if you were paying attention to the radar, and where your teammates have died as well in multiple scenarios. And also your positioning can use to work, mostly where you need to hold angles if you feel like you are outgunned. So with the vector scenario, back when you were on T side, and also in this scenario where you had 3 players on B site, just hold angles. It all comes down to practicing what you need to do in each scenario, basically decision making. You need to decide, okay, when this happens, I need to do this. And when this happens, I would need to do this, then this. So like, if your B-long player goes down to someone who went around in mid, like, okay, he died, they're covering B-long for me, I'm gonna pop down, watch heaven from below. Just things like that, little decisions that you need to make. And it all comes down to actually playing the game. You need to actually learn from your mistakes, like learn in this situation you need to do this differently instead of doing this. And also, don't wear Bluetooth headphones. Just don't. It's not worth your money to get them if you're going to be playing a game like this, and it's also not very advantageous on your part. But anyways, that's it for me. Hope you guys learned something today. And to those of you who decided to stick around and watch this video, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see any other content that I put online, like, share, subscribe, comment down below, follow me on Twitter and Discord, link to the description below, and also don't forget to hit the bell. It really helps out the channel. And stay safe. Bye-bye.